because I did it early on. Unless I missed hitting a button. Sorry, everybody. Hopefully everyone can hear Rosemary pretty well. She's got her own mic, her own dedicated Rosemary mic. She does. You're right. Okay. All right. Oh,
What?
interesting. Did you see that?
I did.
Oh my goodness. Wait a second. Folks. No. But does it say we're live right now? So we got cut off before. And I want to tell you what? Okay, but you saw what happened. It said something about sexuality, right? This is a frequent thing that's happening with Facebook now.
What did it say?
Something I clicked it off fast. I didn't do it because I didn't want anyone to see it. I just wanted to get it off. It said something about this post has something to do with sexuality.
Oh, because it was just talking about these things.
No, it was before. It was when they kicked us off before. I'm telling you right now, Facebook has gone absolutely bizarro because they will not let me post things. They will not I'll get stuff flagged. I'll get boosts that get taken down. It's gone absolutely crazy.
Elon Musk buy it.
It's really, guys, it's really a problem because it's really happened in a way that it completely, everything's out of our control and we can't, there's nobody we can call to say, hey, this isn't right.
Why don't you just live stream on YouTube and get rid of it?
What?
Why don't you just live stream on YouTube? Is there a cost to that?
No, we are. Oh, you mean on YouTube? On YouTube?
Yeah.
We post them up on YouTube afterwards. No, the main reason is just so that people can find us because most people are not like sitting on, if someone's sitting at home on Facebook, then this gives them a chance to do it because it's the difference between broadcasting it on cable and broadcasting it on a commercial station. I mean, the idea was that you didn't have to have cable in order to get it, which again, a lot of people have YouTube, don't get me wrong, but most people aren't sitting on YouTube waiting for something to stream. So we wanted to use Facebook because it's such an important place for people to come to. It's essentially, once you start, if someone's on Facebook, they see us, it'll hit. But I'm telling you, it's a disaster. And I'll tell you one thing that happened that just, I mean, you need to see this right now. I don't even know if I can show it, but it's a really, really messed up thing. Look, I don't know who these people are, so I can only tell you that their names are written in Arabic. They will file a claim, a copyright claim against our Shabbat services. They'll take down our Shabbat services and I'll protest the claim and it'll go up. Once they investigate, then Facebook investigates the claim and they find there's no issue, but it's too late. So it's like a form of hacking or terrorism, really, in a way, because what they're basically saying is that they're able to, and I'll write a little note, hey, this is happening repeatedly. They keep doing this. Nothing happened. I mean, people just keep getting away with it. So,
Rabbi, can I say something?
Beth, I mean.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it'll say there's a copyright claim on this. It'll say so-and-so said on it. It was basically Rosemary. I think it was the way she was reading. It wasn't so much what she said, but the way she said it. She said it in a very lurid way. Unbelievable, folks. I seriously, like, not even a inclination.
I beat this times we talked about prostitution.
Fine, but it didn't happen just now. She was reading, the only thing she talked about dogs. She talked about they are dumb dogs.
Dog lovers out, yeah, and we weren't even on that one.
Dog lovers. See, I don't even think she said dog lovers.
Love your dog.
She didn't even say that.
It does say your man home.
I know, because I just did it. Oh, she's right. Well, Cheryl just got it. I mentioned eunuchs. Now she made me just say it. Now I've said it. She's right.
Oh, God.
Cheryl got it. I did use the word eunuch. Holy moly.
Oh, God, we should be recording this.
We're thinking about sticking.
Oh, God.
Is it on? No, it says we're on. It says we're on. Steve. It's not eunuch then. I'll say it again. All right, I'll say it 50 times now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, well, it's on. Yeah, so maybe it wasn't sure. I like that though. Sure, I thought you had something. No, now we're just back to nonsense. There's no answer. At least there we had an answer.
I see the joke about the Unix operating system.
Did I say? I don't think I said. Did I say that word before? I know, but I didn't say it today. Mike's trying to make me say the word. I'm not going to say it. I don't want to restart. I have no idea. I have no idea. All right, Rosemary. This is now there's 3 people watching. All right. So Rosemary, why don't you read these are the last verses of, this is a super short chapter, right? I know. And the fact, but wait, I mean, we're laughing at it and we know it's ridiculous. I'm living it, folks. I'm literally stuck. I'm stuck in this on a weird, and again, it's not like I'm not, this is Orwellian in the sense of ridiculousness and bureaucratic and weird language, whatever. But I'm not being arrested. I'm not being harassed. I can't do business in this system, in the sense that the business I should be able to do, I'm not being able to do. But this is not. Now let's put this into perspective. There's countries where you get arrested for saying things that the government doesn't like. So let's, I'm just saying that this is 100% happening, and understand you're stuck in it. Yeah. Something or something that they had caught before. But yeah, I'll just tell you, we can't even, the problem is we don't even know what it is. Like if somebody said, well, if you do this way, then you won't get in trouble. I don't even know what that way is.
Neural networks, they don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put up that, it's why you got.
Yeah.
I think it's really.
I think you might be right. I think at that point it was. I think showing it and
It didn't say it.
no, I know. But when I put up on the text that it had said sexuality or nudity, now I just could have done it. But anyways, but Mike might be right. When I showed them, when I put up on Facebook what they did, that could have gotten me thrown off.
Yes.
But I have no idea what got thrown off in the first place. That Mike, that still doesn't explain what got.
When you start.
No, but I'm saying that's why we don't know what started the first time. But the second time, Mike's right, that putting that up could have gotten us tossed off.
Right.
By showing what they did.
No, for sure, if you did it again. It's very great.
So at some point, Reverend Lynn is going to get me arrested by the meta police. But I talk to very white bread people.
This goes all.
They're not going to get any trouble. Let's stop it. They're not going to bring something up from, but I'm just saying, if they did, if they did, that would be at least explain it. There's no explanation for it. No, I'm not kidding. It's ridiculous. And I just tell me what the rules are and I'll follow them if I can. You're not even telling me what the rules are. Yeah, because I just redid it. All right, let's read this last part about the dogs. I don't know.
Believe it, don't say it, Rosemary.
Moreover, the dogs are greedy. They never know satiety. As for the shepherds, they know not what it is to give heed. Everyone has turned his own way. Every last one seeks his own advantage. Come on, get some wine. We'll liquor. And tomorrow will be just the same, or even grander.
Yeah. Now, the question of is that really the end of the idea? Probably not. It's the end of the chapter, but it doesn't really seem to be the end of the idea, because that's clearly not what he's saying. This is what we should do. He's saying it rhetorically. He's saying it, in a mocking way, right? So it's not he's talking about a problem, right? And that's going to be the theme of what we're going to just read now, which is, even though Isaiah for the last few chapters was talking about comfort and talking about restoration and talking about the suffering is now going to give way to a reward and to reconciliation and good stuff, we're going to step back into a series of warnings and also kind of like admonitions where Isaiah is going to go back. And this is why some people say it's like another section, because this section from now on, not till the end, but definitely has more of a balanced way, which is some of the early Isaiah is very chastising, then it becomes very comforting, and then this last part is kind of in between. It's kind of what some people say. Some people say that third Isaiah reflects a time when Isaiah or somebody else says, okay, the first Isaiah tells us things are going to get bad. Second Isaiah says, now it's time for reconciliation and comfort. Whereas the third Isaiah says, it's not quite as great as we thought it would be. Maybe we're still a little messed up. And maybe there's still something that we have to do in order to get God to finish the job. And so that's why some people say third Isaiah is like either a later part of the second Isaiah or like another whole voice written even later, maybe another 15 or 20 years later, that are saying, hey, clearly things are not quite as good as we thought. We thought Cyrus was going to let us all come back and rebuild the temple. It's not quite happening as fast as we thought, which is what happened. We know that that's what happened, that the restoration took a little bit longer than people wanted. It took another 100 years or so before people could rebuild the temple and, get Jerusalem back up on its feet. And it kind of was like the letdown of, oh, really? We now have some hard work to do, which is kind of what happened, when the Berlin Wall fell, people were very excited in Germany and it's like, we're going to be free now. And then they realized, well, we have to reintegrate a country that's been treated differently for the last 50 years. And so it wasn't so easy. And there were a lot of, fits and starts, and there's still problems in Germany between the east and western parts of it. But, it kind of joy gives way to reality. And that's what some people say is in this, but there's some very famous parts in it, as I kind of alluded to, in the e-blast. We're going to read right in this chapter, and it goes into the next chapter, part of Isaiah that we read at Yom Kippur. So it's pretty well known, and it's pretty important. If our sages years and years ago said, you know what, let's read this at Yom Kippur, and they knew what they were doing, you'll see why. All right, so here's chapter 57, which again really doesn't end. It's not the beginning of a new chapter. Kind of continues from the previous verses.
The righteous man perishes, and no one considers. Pious men are taken away, and no one gives thought that because of evil, the righteous was taken away. Yet he shall come to peace. He shall have rest on his couch, who walked straight forward. But as for you, come closer, you sons of a sorceress, you offspring of an adulterer and a harlot.
Uh-oh.
With whom do you act so familiar? At whom do you open your mouth and stick out your tongue? Why, you are children of iniquity, offspring of treachery. You who inflame yourselves among the terebinths, under every verdant tree, who slaughter children in the wadis, among the clefts of the rocks. With such are your share and your portion. They are your allotment. To them you have poured out libations, presented offerings. Should I relent in the face of this? On a high and lofty hill you have set your couch. There too you have gone up to perform sacrifices. Behind the door and doorpost you have directed your thoughts. Abandoning me, you have gone up on the couch you made so.
Well, there was
Look,
that
I mean,
portion too.
I hate to say it, but the Bible said so. That's what the Bible said they were doing. So yeah, I mean, if you're gonna censor the Bible here on this, the reality is that these people were doing, and they were basically saying,
Actually, if you put the Bible on the band book list, that would help it tremendously.
So I like, if I told you it, you probably wouldn't believe it.
Maybe because you don't lie, but I would.
But you would think but you'd think I'm exaggerating. You think I did a rabbinic. I said a rabbinic, like, oh, he's telling us a rabbinic story. He must have done something wrong. He must have said something.
I have a response from Mike.
Yeah, what did he say?
He said, interesting issue. I do believe there's an audit process, and I got back to him on that. You tried. But audit process, you can request if you are constantly getting nagged by the bots. And that looks like, that took whatever stuff that isn't good for the platform. I'm not on the Facebook side of the company, but I can try to ask around or look into they might suggest. So I got back to him. I said, we tried the audit process and that didn't work. If you can ask around. So
No, I appreciate it, Mike. Thanks.
he's a big shot over there.
That's excellent. Well, hopefully somebody will take note of this. But again, as I said, I happen to have talked,
File a case.
what? I wasn't an option. I'll look at it later. I'm not going to waste time today. But as I said, I probably just now screwed myself up. Just so you know.
Any of the Christian clergy up here?
Yeah, you just ask. I haven't heard that there's been any other problems with Christian. I haven't heard any problems with Christian. Listen, I will tell you, part of the reason why they were paying attention to the Jewish community more, because I know you're going to laugh at me right now. They thought they were protecting us. And that's what some of the other people in the Jewish community told me, is that they took this stance because so many Jewish groups were being harassed that they tried to protect the Jewish groups. The problem is that they're not letting us do our job. So they said that they were going to protect us. And so they had a heightened sense of security, but it's backfiring. It's hurt. I had somebody from the J. No, I don't think so. I believe, I could be wrong. You're right. Maybe I'm being too forgiving on this, but I do believe, and I don't believe, honestly, I don't believe that Zuckerberg would want Jewish community to be harassed. All right, folks. So let's take a look at let's look at what else the people are doing.
You have approached the king with oil. You have provided many perfumes, and you have sent your envoys afar, even down to the netherworld. Though wearied by much travel, you never said, I give up. You found gratification for your lust, and so you never cared. Whom do you dread and fear that you tell lies? But you gave no thought to me. You paid no heed. It is because I have stood idly by so long that you have no fear of me. I hereby pronounce judgment upon your deeds. Your assorted idols shall not avail you, shall not save you when you cry out. They shall all be borne off by the wind, snatched away by a breeze. But those who trust in me shall inherit the land and possess my sacred mount.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting section.
Yep. And so people are basically being told you couldn't even find, like, there was no end to how determined you were to do this kind of stuff, right? You did not stop, right? You couldn't stop. You even went out down to hell, Ad Sheol, which is kind of an interesting phrase because he basically is saying you'd go to hell for this stuff. And he does it in a way that's kind of has an interesting double entendre. You'd go to the end of the earth for this kind of stuff, this perversion, right? And you'd even go to hell.
Yes. Version is hell.
It's a wonderful poetic turn of the phrase.
It's not a good place.
Yeah, well. God,
Just saying.
and there were, and literally they will do anything to get there, do anything they can to
But
get there.
God says, I haven't done anything for you in so long.
Yeah,
You've forgotten what I do.
Yeah.
That's it.
exactly, which is this idea of why people think that this section was written later. Because wait a second, we just read that the people were punished and then they were forgiven. And now there's this sense like, oh, now we're going to get it again. And that's what this third Isaiah really seems to have, which is that line, which Reverend Lynn just pointed out in particular, has this sense of, what are you talking about? Because it's going to happen again.
That's right, in that this has definitely been repeated.
Yes, but what's interesting is that you screwed up. Then in the 40s to 50s, it's going to be okay. God's taking you back. And now we're getting again, I haven't punished you in a long time. You forgot, which seems to imply that there's been a period of relative calm, a period of relative security. And now
But this is
it's going to
intentional,
hit.
isn't it? God has created us to be this.
Yeah, but what we do, like one can make the argument, and the rabbis did, by the way, 2,000 years ago, is that 3,000 years ago or 2,500 years ago, during the time of Isaiah, we were really bad because we were worshiping other gods. During the Roman times, the rabbis said, well, we're not worshiping other gods. I mean, there were exceptions, right? They saw that some Jews were worshiping Roman gods, but by that period of time, most Romans were not worshiping Roman gods, and Roman worship was going down the toilet, kind of. Romans were searching for more kind of philosophical and meaningful. The idol worship stuff was not so popular. So the rabbis basically said, look, we're not being punished now because we're worshiping other gods. We're worshiping God and we're doing everything in Jerusalem. These people are not even worshiping, even when they're worshiping God, they're not always doing it in Jerusalem. By this point, they're only worshiping in Jerusalem. So the rabbi said, it's not that. It's not because we're worshiping bad like our ancestors did in Isaiah's time.